for the newcomers, you are getting more thabab, more ajr, and more reward by helping the newcomers and giving them more space. Sallu ala Muhammad wa al Muhammad. And if you listen to other things that I say, like now you listen to these statements, don't be in good shape. Sallu ala Muhammad wa al Muhammad. The first Friday after the holy month of Ramadan. 1 month of dedication and good deeds and discipline. 1 month of practicing peace and patience. إحياء ليال القدر. 3 nights and 3 times Dua al-Joshan, and 300 times we said Subhanaka ya la ilaha illa ant al-Ghawth al-Ghawth khallisna min al-nar ya Rab. We said this 300 times at least, that we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect us min al-nar, from hellfire. The hellfire that's going on already in this world, from Gaza to Janub Lebanon to Yemen to Syria to Sudan to Mali to other parts of this planet, and also the hellfire on the Day of Judgment. We are going through so many struggles. A British philosopher called Bertrand Russell, he said it last century that human being goes through at least 3 kinds of wars and struggles. One with the nature. You see all this tornado and earthquake and flood and fire, that is our war with the nature. And then a war between human beings themselves, people with people, they are fighting. You see it from Russia and Ukraine and Yemen and Palestine, many other areas. And then the third war is the internal war. Fight with the internal desires. That famous story that inna Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi ba'atha bisariyatin فلما رجعوا قال صلى الله عليه وآله مرحبا بقوم قذوا الجهاد الأصغر وبقي عليهم الجهاد الأكبر قيل يا رسول الله وما الجهاد الأكبر قال صلى الله عليه وآله جهاد النفس أفضل الجهاد من جاهد نفسه التي بين جنبيه. He mobilize a group of the soldiers when they were done with their mission and they are back to Medina. He said, welcome. You are done with the little jihad. Now it's time to start the bigger one. They were already exhausted and tired and wondering, Ya Rasulullah, we thought what we did was the biggest, and now you are telling us to start even a bigger one. He said, yes, it is time that you fight the pharaohs, the shaitans, the taghuts, that they are inside you. This is why we call the Shahr Ramadan Shahr al-Tazkiyah or Shahr al-Taqwa. قد أفلح من تزكى قد أفلح من زكاها. And you mentioned once, I said that ulama al-Akhlaq, when they talk about the spiritual journey, they talk about 3-4 stages. They say a tazkiyah, for us to go through the journey of a tazkiyah, purification, we must start from a takhliyah. That means to empty our soul from all garbages that they are bothering. الكذب، النفاق، الحرص، الطمع، قوة الشهوية، قوة الغضبية، الأنانية، الغيبة، التهمة، الجاهلية، العصبية، العنصرية، عقد الوالدين، نقض العقود، نقض العهود. All of these sinful desires to have a total spiritual shower, have an absolute cleansing in our soul. That is a takhliyah. That means all this dirt and dust out of our soul, clean it. That is number one. That's the beginning of this journey. And then the second stage was a tahliyah, to bring this holy, this gels, this jawahir, this beauty. And now that the dirt is gone, the polluted water is gone, now you bring drinking water, you bring pure water, and you beautifying this soul with good things. So this is a complete cleaning of soul in the beginning, and then you replace it with this at-tahliyah, good stuff from your soul. So you replace الصفات الشيطانية، الصفات البهيمية، الصفات السبعية. That's barbarism, that animal side. These are gone, replacing that الرذائل الأخلاقية with الفضائل الأخلاقية، المكارم الأخلاقية. So you clean the spirit from all these dirty desires, and you replace it with al-fada'il, al-makarim, a beautiful characteristics. So you replace al-kibr with tawadu'. Arrogance is gone, humility is on. You replace hubb al-dunya, all of this greed for material, with hubb Allah, the love of the world with love of the Lord. This is the stage of at-takhliyah, at-tahliyah. And finally, ulama al-akhlaq, they talk about the final word, at-tajliyah, at-tajalli, that you become manifestation of characteristic of Allah, sifat al-Rabb. And this is getting you close to the marhalatul fana. الفناء في ذات الله، الفناء في أفعال الله، الفناء في صفات الله. These are the story that the journey of spirit, that eternal at-tazkiyah. So if we call month of Ramadan a month of at-tazkiyah, now the ulama are saying, ulama al-akhlaq, the philosophers of fada'il, they are telling us that they start from at-takhliyah and then at-tahliyah, put those jawhars, those gems, those يعني صفات ذهبية instead of those صفات الرذيلة, and then finally at-tajliyah, more jala, more shining, that you bring more shining signs in your soul, and you make your soul tajliyah, means more beautiful. And then you are ready to al-fana'u fillah, that you become al-mutakhalliq bi-akhlaq Allah, takhallaqu bi-akhlaq Allah. Whatever those sifat, asma'ul husna, then you become a mathal of the characteristics of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then Islam gives us a GPS. How can we go through this journey of التخلية التحلية التجلية الفناء في الله. How we do this? The Quran is our GPS. 6,666 verse in the Quran. That's one calculation. These are verses. And then we have thousands and thousands of ahadith. Look at كتب الأربعة, الكافي, من لا يحضر, التهذيب, الاستبصار. These are the Shia side. And then we have like وسائل الشيعة. وسائل الشيعة almost 35,000 hadith. الشيخ الحر العاملي رضوان الله عليه, he put together over 35,000 hadith. When you go to Imam al-Rida, his maqbara is there, من علماء جبل عامل, next to Imam al-Rida, his dharih is there. Then we have مرحوم الميلسي, بحار الأنوار, over 70,000 ahadith in Bahar al-Anwar. SubhanAllah, put together all these hadith. These are only on the Shia side. And then you go to As-Sunnah, you have Sahih Bukhari, Sahih Muslim, and Ibn Abi Dawood, and An-Nasa'i, At-Tirmidhi, Ibn Majah, all of this. Kutub al-Sitta. It's interesting, one of those author, Sunan Abi Dawood, which is the third. They have the Bukhari comes first, and then Muslim, and then Abi Dawood. This Ibn Abi Dawood is saying that كتبت عن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم 500,000 hadith. He said, I collected 500,000 hadith from the Holy Prophet. We have more hadith because, you know, we is from the Prophet and also Ahlul Bayt. But, you know, the Ahl Sunnah just hadith only from the Prophet. But we, of course, believe that whatever from Imam Ali and Ahlul Bayt, كأنه الرسول, نفس الشيء. He's saying, I collected 500,000 hadith from the Prophet, peace be upon him. وانتخبت منها 4,800 hadith. And out of that 500,000, I chose 4,800. So almost 5,000 out of 500,000. Then he says, وَيَكْفِ الْإِنسان لِدِينِهِ 4 أحاديث. This is out of this 500,000 and then 5,000. If I choose 4 hadith, and you're really committed to these 4 hadiths, is enough for you to be a good Muslim. إِنَّمَا الْأَعْمَالُ بِالنِّيَّاتِ, the Prophet, peace be upon him, said, your intentions, value is based on your intention. خلوص النية, number 1. من حسن إسلام المرء تركه ما لا يعنيه. If you are looking for a beautiful Islam, just drop everything that doesn't make sense, all this nonsense, drop it. Number 3, لا يكون المؤمن مؤمنا حتى لا يرضى لأخيه إلا ما يرضى لنفسه. Whatever you don't like for yourself, don't like it for somebody else. You don't want somebody to disrespect you, don't respect the others. You don't want somebody to harm you, don't harm others. And finally, الحلال بين والحرام بين وبين ذلك أمور مشتهبات. المشتبه. You know that what is halal, is clear. What is haram is clear. And between there are mushtabahat that you have to be muhtat. You have to be careful about that. And if it is up to me, I say, Ibn Abi Dawood, I choose one of these 4 that you said. And that is the hadith from the Holy Prophet, من حسن إسلام المرء تركه ما لا يعنيه. Can you imagine if we just follow this one hadith, the entire life is going to be different? When we say that be Muslim, يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. Every week that I come here, I recite this verse, right? I've been doing Salat al-Jum'ah in this town for how many years? Subhanallah, 34 years now, right? Oh, if I die tomorrow, nobody's going to cry. 34 years is a long time, right? If it is up to me, I like to come and continue for another 34 years, but I think it's impossible. I mean, it's not impossible for God, but I think humanitarian talking is like I don't think so at all. So, but even 1%. So, but you know, this is up to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He says, وَلَا تَمُوتُنَّ إِلَّا وَأَنْتُمْ مُسْلِمُونَ. Make sure when you die as a Muslim. Subhanallah. And this is wasiyah of Ibrahim and Yaqub to their children. They made a will. Oh my children, لا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. When you die as a Muslim. So what is Islam? The Holy Prophet says, من حسن إسلام المرء تركه ما لا يعنيه. You want to die as a Muslim? That means you live a life of meaning, a life of purpose. Don't say the thing doesn't make sense. That means don't waste your time with the conversation. With ghiba, with tuhma, with talking about this, talking about, what do you gain out? La yani, you don't get any benefit from this talk. Why you are saying the things that don't benefit you? Why? طوبى لمن شغله عيبه عن عيوب الناس. Focus on your own shortcomings. We are talking about other people all the time. Isn't it that we say Ya Sattar in Dua al-Joshan? One of the qualities of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Ya Sattar, that He covers. But we do opposite. We try to be kashaf. Talking about this and talking about that out of jealousy, out of arrogance, out of hatred, out of asabiyya, out of unsuriya. These are kind of thing that la yani doesn't help us. Doesn't help us at all. Especially responsibility of the parents toward the children. You know how much time is wasted for our children, that time should be saved to save their future? How much time is wasted on social media, especially those 5 platforms that I already mentioned, on YouTube, on TikTok, in Facebook, in Instagram, Snapchat. These 5 main channels of social media. If you leave it for children, they don't care about food, they don't care about water, they don't care about sleeping, they don't care about resting. They want to be on computer and social media 24/7. So we have to save them from la yani, from the things that has no meaning, doesn't benefit them. Doesn't. I know the social media has its own pro and cons, for and against. It's a double-edged sword. I mean, I use social media for meaningful reason, for education, get right information. But many times our kids, they are not using social media for education. They use it for fun. And that's waste of their time. And after a while, when they are addicted to social media, they get depressed, they get sick, they get mental disorder, and they are in tragedy in their life because they are wasting so much of their time. So responsibility of the parents to more monitoring when it comes to the kids and their time, limiting the time that they are spending with social media. You want to give them 10 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour, no more. A lot of time the kids, they may tell us that they are doing their homework. You are right, you are doing homework. And they are not sleeping. If you leave them with the computer, they are not sleeping the whole night at all. They may stay up the whole night and they are doing the homework. And in the morning they cannot wake up. They are not ready to go to the school. There is no homework is done. the whole time is wasted on this social media. So we have to check. We have to supervise. And at the same time, to limit the time and control and be a good example. Because if we tell our kids that social media is bad, but we ourselves on 24/7 on social media, is not going to be helpful. So be responsible and make sure that anything that we do is meaningful, is not wasting time. Do we have anything in our life more important than time? وَالْعَاصِر. What else we have? So brothers and sisters, make sure that you focus on saving your time more than you focus on saving money. Yeah, we need money, of course, that's part of the life. But the point is that money, you can earn it all the time, you can replace. But time is not something that you get it back. Time is time. Isn't like yesterday we said, Christmas time and New Year, and everybody was talking about New Year resolution. What happened? We forgot even the word resolution now. I mean, it was like all this lighting all over. Well, now it's 4 months already. We are already in April. Can you imagine? This is your life. This is my life. This is our time. And this is why the Prophet said, "Min husn Islam al-mar." The best thing to keep your faith beautiful, that to avoid the things that la ya'ani, meaningless thing. That's our big responsibility. Time for us and time for family. قال صلى الله عليه وآله لن تزول قدم عبد يوم القيامة حتى يسأل عن أربع عن عمره فيما أفناه وعن شبابه فيما أبلاه وعن ماله من أين اكتسبه وفيما أنفقه وعن علمه ماذا عمل به وفي رواية أخرى من حبنا أهل البيت. That on the day of judgment, everybody in the first stations will be stopped to be asked about 4 questions. About your life. How did you spend your life? That was a big investment, big capital from your Creator. What did you do with that gift of life? And your youth? Although your youth was part of your life, but a special question that when you have all this energy and all this time and all this health, and what about your wealth? And what about your knowledge? So 4 questions: your life, your youth, your money, how you earn it, how you spend it, and your knowledge. How did you use your knowledge? You had this science, you had these tools and technology. How did you use it? You use it like the Israelis to use science as a tool of terrorism and make pager and kill and wound thousands of people. That was the purpose of your life. Well, if that was your choice, the day that you meet with your Lord, يوم القيامة, يوم الآخر, that is يوم الحسرة for you. That is the day that you regret. يوم لا ينفع الظالمين معذرتهم. On that day, no matter how much Netanyahu would say, I'm sorry, it's too late, it's too little too late. يوم يعض الظالم على يديه. They just bite their hands. The ظالمين bite their hand. يقول يا ليتني اتخذت مع الرسول سبيلا. I wish I was a human being. I wish I followed the path of the Holy Prophet. So these criminals, they may escape from the international court in this world, but they cannot escape from the court of the Creator when they meet the Lord. Netanyahu is going to Hungary, and he is welcome with all this military honor in Budapest, and that shameful guy is saying that I'm leaving international Court of Justice or International Criminal Court, because they are, this Budapest, they are the founder, one of the founder of International Criminal Court, to punish the war criminals. And now the same country who is the founder of this court is leaving this court to be able to welcome a war criminal. And both of them, they think that by escaping from this court, they can escape from the court of God as well. No. You are welcome there with full military, but tomorrow you are welcome with the guards of hellfire. They are ready to just welcome you, and then you sahatain over there when you are dealing with the guards of Jahannam, Nar Jahannam. That is expecting. And everyone who is responsible for all this mess in the world, President Donald Trump, that is responsible to give green light to somebody like Netanyahu to keep killing in Gaza. What is going on? I mean, we cannot even watch this video anymore. That this old man, old woman, they were told for 100 times now to move from this area, go to that shelter, go there. And these people cannot even walk, hungry, thirsty, sick, old. It takes them 4 or 5 hours to just walk for 1 mile to get a new place. When they get to the new place, they jump, and bomber comes, and they bomb them in new place. How they want to answer? I know they don't believe in God, they don't believe in the day of judgment, but just because they don't believe it doesn't mean that that doesn't exist. Yeah, God is watching what is going on in Rafah. God is watching what's going on in Khan Yunus. What is going on in Junub Lebanon? What is going on of the poor country like Yemen? Residential areas be bombed. What is going on in Ghura al-Alawiyya fi Syria of those terrorists attacking innocent people? God is watching all of this, and there's going to be responsibility. There's going to be responsibility for all of this, that you cannot act irresponsible. Like we have president, he's so proud and so powerful, making decision. In 20 minutes, you saw yesterday, in 20 minutes, the stock market in United States lost $2.5 trillion. In 20 minutes. That's how it happened, when we act arrogantly. Now China already increased 34% of tax on American goods. And then all of us have to pay the price. If you want to buy a car, you have to go up and up. You want to buy a house, you want to make this gymnasium here, now we have to pay more material. So those of you who are donating, donate more, because it's not going to be those 2 million that we already thought. Is just crazy now. All this material is getting much more expensive. So this is the responsibility, that people go through all this pain because we fail in that moral journey. Yeah, we have the war in the nature. Yes, in Myanmar you did the earthquake. Now hundreds of thousands of people are affected by one earthquake. We have tornado. You know that in the United States yesterday 7 people died because of tornado. This nature, this war in nature, and then war of human and human. في البر والبحر بما كسبت أيدي الناس. That happened. But the most fundamental failure of human beings is not in its war in nature or people with people, but the failure in moral struggle. When people are a slave of their greed and their egos and their arrogance. And that is why we are failing in other areas. This is why brothers and sisters, when we are talking about at-takhliya, at-tahliya, at-tajliya, we are not joking. These are real issues. These are the real disease and viruses, moral collapse. And that is why Allah keep telling us, ittaqullah, ittaqullah, ittaqullah. Istajibu lillah, istajibu lillah, ati'ullah, ati'ullah. These are all Quranic orders of be pious, be mindful, have character, listen to Allah, practice, la tamutunna illa wa antum muslimun. Make sure that you die with the sense of submission. And remember, wa antumul a'laun in kuntum mu'minin. You are the highest if you have the faith. You look at we have a president, he talks with everybody and put everybody's down. A few days ago, this prince of Bahrain was here and said, you have $700 billion. It's too much for you. You don't need that much money. He was just joking. And the president of Ukraine is coming here just like that. What this president dealing with Iran, he said, please come, let us sit down and have negotiation with you. Oh my goodness. What happened? Is it that really Iran is more military power than US? No. The entire military of Iran, all these missiles and all these bombs, everything that Iran has, compared to United States, I don't know, by percentage is 1%, is 5%. It's something like that. It's the most military might of the world, United States. But why is it that the most powerful man in the world is begging Iran, please let us sit down and negotiate directly? And then they take their time after a while, say, well, we want to talk indirectly. He said, no, let us talk, please, let us sit down and talk directly. وَأَنْتُمُ الْأَعْلَوْنَ إِن كُنْتُم مُؤْمِنِينَ. Because this man, Trump, is smart, despite of, he knows that he is dealing with the people, they don't have that much, but they don't care to die either. And they are going to use all they have. And no matter how much they lose, you are going to lose as well. So be careful. It's not a joke. And this is why he shows that much respect, even the time that he's threatening. But at the same time, he tries to balance it and show respect, because he knows that he is dealing with mu'mineen, with people who have faith. وَأَنْتُمُ الْأَعْلَوْنَ إِن كُنْتُم مُؤْمِنِينَ. If you don't show respect for anyone on the earth, but with this Jama'ah, you have to show respect. And you need to tell them that let us sit down and have a dialogue. This is the result of قَدْ أَفْلَحَ مَنْ زَكَّهَا. When you go through that purification of the soul, then you can win these wars against the nature, against the oppressors, and most importantly, in your jihad al-akbar, in your internal war against al-sabu'iyya, al-bahimiyya, al-shaytaniyya, al-taghutiyya. All of this rada'il can be defeated with your discipline, with your dedication, and with your faith in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allahumma aghfir lil mu'minina wal mu'minat wal muslimina wal muslimat al ahya'i minhum wal amwat wa tabi' baynana wa baynahum bil khairat. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Wal 'asri innal insana lafi khusr illa alladhina amanu wa 'amilus salihat وَالتَّوَاصَوْا بِالْحَقِّ وَالتَّوَاصَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ. I just want to say one announcement, brothers and sisters. Many of you already know that the dinner of House of Wisdom is on April 27th. It is Sunday, April 27 at 3 p.m., Nadi bin Jubail. inshallah, a delicious dinner. Everybody is invited. And I want each and everyone, after the salat today, you go to the table and you reserve at least one table. If you are the most mustazaf person in the whole world, then you can at least get one ticket, because I don't think anybody in this gathering is that cannot have one ticket for this dinner. So one table is only 1,000. And by the way, it's just 500 goes for food and other things. It's not that just the whole thing. Don't say 1,000 goes to Darul Hikmah. So please make sure that you reserve your table today. Some of you who have big family and big friends, make sure you reserve even more than one table. We want to make this dinner, inshallah, a big success for this project. We promise to have this jam and ethnic and educational center, inshallah, ready for our children for next Eid al-Fitr. So let us help each other, inshallah, to continue this project and having it ready. So be part of it. All this money, all of this thing means nothing. If la samhallah, one of those tornadoes, la samhallah, we lose everything. So it's dunya. Don't think that if we have some money to can get one ticket or one table, it's not a big deal. So make sure that on that day we get together and we enjoy the family and friends, inshallah, and we